Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm here at the Maksiwa showroom and we're here for another U-Build project. Today we are going to build a cat house for your furry friends. Let's start building. Before we get started, I just want to kind of go over a little bit about this cat house. What I did is I took a piece of 1/4 inch and I laid it out, and it's almost like a blueprint of what I'm doing. So this way it gives you an idea of exactly what you want to, how you want to build your project. Now we have a bottom and we have our sides and our top for a roof here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to show you briefly here how I did this. I laid these out first and I just cut blocks. You've got some scrap pieces here. You can do that and just lay these out. And this way you can let you know exactly your miters and your size, and you can physically look at the actual size of what your box looks like. So if you see here, I've got the miters. I put a 45, these are 45s on here, on the corners here of this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. And then we got a 25-degree angle coming off of here. We got a 39-degree up on the top and a 25 down here. So when they all go together, they form the box. So what I'm gonna do is, to let everybody know, I'm gonna write down the sizes to get everybody an idea of what this looks like. This bottom section is going to be 22 inches. The sides are 11 inches. The rooftop here is going to be 14 1/8 and 14 1/8. When you cut these all out, they're all going to line up, and you have yourself a cat box. Now I just want to go over the material that I'm going to be using for this cat house. It's plywood and it's veneered, and this is rosewood, and this here is zebra wood, which will be part of the house itself. The rosewood is going to be the toe kick, that will be down below the cat house, and then the house itself will be the zebra wood. Okay, now we're going to start on the CBC.E portable Edgebander. And to get started, I just want to let you know it's a small blueprint for the smaller shops, and it's very easy and convenient to work with. It's got its own glue pot, and we're going to go ahead and start edge banding our pieces right now. Now we're going to work on the RBB 1000 edge trimmer. We're going to edge trim the edge of the veneer here. Before I start cutting my pieces for my cat house, I just want to go over and show you how I laid this out in the easy way to match the grain. So when the cat house is put together, the grain matches all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each piece here and I'm going to line them up like so as I'm going around. And that's how I'm going to cut the pieces, so when they all go back together, they're going to match. So before I cut my angles, I want to cut my pieces square first. And then I want to go ahead and take each one and label them. Just want to do that so that I know that I can match up all my pieces when they all go back together. So now we're going to go to the saw, and we're going to go ahead and cut them square, and then we're going to go back and we're going to set our angle, and we're going to go ahead and cut our pieces. Okay, now we're on the BMS 1600 IR sliding panel saw. Right now we're going to go ahead and start cutting our parts, but right now we're just cutting them square because we're going to set up our bevel later. Now on this saw here, if you look, you see the scoring blade here, which is very important when cutting, because on both sides is veneer. Most of the times the piece will blow out because of the veneer. So the scoring blade is very important when cutting material like this. It's got a 5 horsepower motor on it, very powerful, and it will pretty much cut everything and anything that you need to cut through this machine. So let's go ahead and start cutting. So now that we cut our pieces square, now it's time to run our different angles. Now each piece is a little bit different. So we got a 45 and a 25 degree. And what I'm doing here is I took my piece and I oversized it. So now I'm going to start cutting my bevels, all my miters. Like I laid out before for each piece. I will set it up just like that on the table saw, and I'll start cutting my pieces. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this on a 45 because it's called for a 45 for my one edge here. All digital readout, very easy. Set it at your 45. What I like to do is usually when I cut my pieces, I want to put a backer piece on the back side of this because of the fact that when the blade comes through, I'll get a blowout. So I'll usually put a block of wood behind the back of this. So let me go ahead and get a piece of wood and we'll go ahead and take care of that. Okay, before we start assembling the cat house, I'm going to go ahead and use my biscuit joiner, which helps guide each piece as I'm putting it together. I'll show you how this all works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a grooves in here. It puts like a little half football inside of these on the edge of the material. It helps guide, so when I put it together, it will line it up and keep my miters nice and tight and close together. So we'll go ahead and do that now. The reason why I taped all this up, and I recommend using painter's tape, because if you use a white tape, it pulls the veneer up. So I recommend using, it's a blue tape or a green tape. It's called painter's tape. I do this because when I glue this, I don't want glue to be all over the material, and how I taped everything together. So when I put it together, it's going to be like a puzzle. I just close it together, glue it up, and it's all done. We're at the end of our cat house. Right now, I'm going to be building the toe kick right now, which is 16 7/8 by 22. I got to miter all four corners. We'll put that together, and then we'll do our pocket screwing, and then we'll attach that to the house, and we're near the end. So let's get rocking here. Okay, now we're on the PHM 30 pocket hole. What we're going to do is I'm going to do pocket holes so we can have a buildup underneath our toe kick here, so we can fasten it to the bottom of our cat house. Before I do that, depending on what size screws you use, if you use 1 5/8, your hole has to be cut back further. There's a fence adjustment on here for your sizes, for your depth, for your screws. Right now, I'm only using 1 1/4, so I need to go back at least a 1/2 inch before my pocket hole starts to drill. So I have to adjust at least 1/2 inch back on my fence. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna set my fence to a 1/2 inch. And now we can go ahead and start the pocket screw. Okay, now we're at our final cut here. We're going to be going to cut the back for the cat house, and I'm going to go ahead and set up here with our gauge here for our angle. We need to find out which, as you see, if we got a line right here where where the house is, that's the outline. I traced it out. So now we're going to go ahead and set it up on the panel saw, and we're going to go ahead and cut these angles and get our back put in. There's your cat house.